Okay, let me try this again. The doctors came in. This is called taking. Targeting is taking of one's life or murder of one's life. This is for entertainment purposes only. And yes, my hands do move because I do got tardive dyskinesia from the psych meds they had me on. Okay, the first part is they choose the target. They target individuals placed on a terrorist watch list. An individual torture program is personally designed for them through fusion centers and the Justice Department, which has been reorganized and redesigned without your knowledge or consent to serve its purpose. TIs might be involved in politics, take a stand on subjects important to them, or simply have the wrong bumper sticker. Simply put, the target becomes known for some attitude, even if it is only in their thoughts. You can get targeted just by having knowledge of something going on with others. TIs are often on disability, are single, living alone. Most often targeted are women. More targeted women are targeted than men, believe it or not. Have a personality disorder, or artists and musicians who make art or write songs. Um, you can become a TI by attempting to help a TI and become a target yourself. You can also become a TI if you have a family member who is a TI, which I doubt. Well, that is possible, but my family's involved in mine. You can also become a TI for revenge if the person knows the right person. There's a bunch of different reasons, and I've done covered that in a different video. You can look up for it, reasons and targeted. All right, here we go. Take their income. The TIs attacked on their job by other employees are anonymous letters falsely accusing them of being involved in some kind of crime like child molesting or drugs, and lose their job. TIs are attacked at night with psyops and radiation attacks, which deprive them of sleep, which interferes with their attendance and performance on their jobs. TIs who own their businesses and have special equipment purchased for their special field have their equipment destroyed. Stalkers come in at night and destroy their records, electronic systems, computer, software, hardware, phone systems. They can no longer do business or meet deadlines. They are slandered to their customers and lose their businesses. Take their home. Without a source of income, TIs lose the ability to pay their bills, so they lose their homes, property, good credit rating. They may have to file bankruptcy. Also, their income is gone. They may have to rely on their family or friends for funds, which causes more problems. Some become refugees and take to the streets in a vehicle or on foot, even though they are on their own. Some become so injured from microwave poisoning that they have to file for disability. Some have lost their homes, burned to the ground with all their belongings inside. Some are falsely accused of being mentally ill. This is often done to elderly people. When the elderly TI is put in the state mental care, their Social Security benefits, pension, home, and all possessions become property of the state. So hires, if your parents are elderly and may need assisted living, put a TI's home and money in trust. The state and federal governments are viciously scooping up land and money. Take their family. When a TI becomes unemployment or homeless, they must look to their family for financial support. This causes stress on the family. People have never heard of what's happening and don't believe it. They may think the TI has a mental problem because they talk about things that are impossible. This can't be happening, and TI is making things up. They believe the Constitution protects people from things like stalking. Mainstream media does not report it. It's kept a secret so it can go on hurting people. TIs lose their husbands or wives who may be mind controlled to turn away and refuse to help or understanding what is happening or participating in what is happening. They may even verbally or physically abuse the TI by calling them crazy or insane. Sometimes family members are abused TIs by putting them in mental hospital, then take their home and possessions. When a mother and father is forcibly put into a mental care, their children are taken away and put in foster homes. Often families are mind controlled and don't want to or can't support another person. They don't believe the unusual stories from TIs because of the sheer volume of its claims. It is overwhelming for people who are not experiencing the same things and don't believe this could happen. Sometimes family members participate in stalking and radiating child against parent brother against brother. About 1% of the population is being stalked. There's depopulation agenda being carried out where 90% of the population is to be eliminated. Kill their pets. What would you do if someone burns your cat to death? Would the killer be prosecuted for cruelty to animals? Stalkers are torturing and killing cats, dogs, bunnies, chickens, horses, any pet the TI loves. If the pets are radiated, which causes vomiting and diarrhea, their food is poisoned, stalkers kick them to death or steal them and return them to their owner so they can watch any pet die of the injuries. Then the authorities arrest the TI, accusing them of torturing and killing their own pets. By the way, strictly speaking, TIs belong to the animal kingdom too, and they are burned. They're being tortured, shocked, burned, vibrated, and killed. Tamper with mailbox and electronic mail. Mailbox is used to be private. When a TI is stalked, the mailbox is never left alone. Stalkers open the mailbox, take the mail, open it, and sometimes don't return it. If the stalker is a neighbor, they will sometimes bring mail to the door and hand it to the TI and apologize for accidentally opening their mail. Everyone's communication is tapped these days. Emails, websites are stolen and destroyed. Sometimes emails are overwritten and the wrong message gets to the wrong person. Sometimes the TI may lose their email account that they have had for years or lose all their contacts and history of communication. Websites are often deleted. Put them in a mental hospital. The stalking and radiation program is very stressful. The first thing a normal person will want to do is to try to get some help. The victim needs and wants sympathetic help and comfort because of the injustice of the situation. They turn to their family and the local police, city, official doctors, or hospitals. This puts them in an extremely vulnerable position because it gives the authorities the opportunity to subject the TI to forced psychological evaluation based on corrupt officials' testimonies and signatures. Many cities have already appointed experts for this purpose. In the beginning of their experience, TI may not have a clue what is happening to them. They may have no metering equipment to measure the radiation. Stalking is so persistent that a victim finds it very hard to gather evidence and keep it. Without evidence, the TI has no way to support their claims. Corrupt doctors and officials force TIs in the mental institution and force them to take medications for symptoms or conditions they do not have. Some lose their ability to take care of themselves because of the side effects of the medication. They are given a history of mental illness, which takes away their validity as a witness of their own torture. The false mental illness history will follow them to future employment and social functions. Having a mental illness record becomes a psychological burden. If a TI isn't mentally ill at the beginning of the war against them, they may become that way after years of being tortured and humiliated. Torture changes people. If there's any doubt that the U.S. is torturing people, please read how the U.S. came to torture its prisoners. Destruction of electronic equipment and communication. This is another tactic that is destroying a TI's independence or ability to defend themselves. If a TI gets a picture or video of the person who was stalking and radiating them, the evidence is stolen. If a TI gets video of frequency meters showing they're being radiated, it's stolen. Computers are hacked into and pictures and files are destroyed. Telephones, cameras, and recording equipment are hacked and destroyed. Anything that can be plugged in electronically is zapped. TIs are not allowed to have any computers, cameras, or jammers. Financial burden of repairing and replacing personal items, electronics, appliances, and vehicles. TIs have to spend their hard-earned money to constantly fix things. Locks on doors, windows do not keep stalkers out. Stalkers who enter TI's home break things they cannot take with them and steal anything else they want. Appliances are destroyed by burning out the coals. Utility companies participate in these activities because they have access via smart meters. People don't realize that smart meters have chips in them and talk to nodes placed throughout the house which monitor utility usage and do security surveillance. All electronics are stolen and broken, including TVs, computers, printers, phones, radios. Refrigerators, washers, dryers, heaters have been broken. Stalking. Does this man look like a stalker? Stalking is done by ordinary looking people. Some carry meters just to get your personal frequencies. Some say there are private parties involved in stalking, and that may be true, but a stalking program outlined in the program COPS, part of the Justice Department, the Department of Justice. It gets the details of hiring paid watchers and stalkers. The stalking program is an equal opportunity program. Hold on. With purpose to irritate and anger the TI, which is part of a psychological attack. They try to provoke the TI into an act of violence or madness. Let's see. They try to provoke the TI into an act of violence or madness. This TI's privacy is eclipsed with an egregious wound. Stalkers steal driver's license, passport, credit cards, and IDs, and anything else they want. They get the TI's mail and foul the mailbox with garbage and food. The tricks are endless. TIs are followed to restaurants where waiters take a very long time to serve them or put their choice of condiments in their food. Then they are stalked by kitchen staff with phones when they leave the restaurant. Most TIs are stalked everywhere, every time they leave their home, from people on foot, bicycles, people in stores, store managers. Publix cooperates in getting brain and biofrequencies in stalking. Some TIs are stalked in their vehicles and are shot with direct energy weapons while driving. Some vehicles are remotely controlled to kill the TI by remotely taking control of the steering wheel and crashing the vehicle. One TI was between his vehicle and his garage when someone remotely started the vehicle and he was crushed to death. Stalking also includes one or more people who use phone apps to get a radar image of you, which looks onto your body frequencies or implants so that the direct energy weapons can be beamed at you in public. Walmart and Target use their employees to do this. Walmart is also gassing people in their store. The TI shot with frequencies that shock, vibrate, and cause them pain. See YouTube pesticides sprayed on a TI at Walmart. Some stalkers are using cloak development from the military. A cloak stalker can be in the same room with you and you can't see them. They can deliver chemicals or biologicals to you without you ever knowing what happened. Some have been caught by using a laser light focused on metamaterials. Some people carry a machete or a gun around the house to deter cloak stalkers, which actually works. Noise harassment. Sounds another form of harassment stalkers are used. In public, one or more stalkers near a TI may talk extra loud so they can hear nothing else, which is extremely rude and disrespectful. They wage sound wars with radios, music. They slam car doors and shut 20 times in a row while the TI is trying to sleep. They alter motorcycles and trucks so they have an extra loud sound. Surveillance. TIs have radios, radar, occupant locating tracker, and beam guidance systems installed in their cars and in the walls and attics of their homes. Smart meters allow surveillance and control of electronics in the home. A gateway and nodes can provide a relay system so the victim can be spied upon while eating, dressing, bathing, and having sex. Their activities and conversations are recorded in real time so that the agents know when they leave their house, and stalkers can be at their destination to stalk the person while they go to school, shop, eat restaurants, or relax. They are followed with airplanes, helicopters, and drones. Obama has mandated that 30,000 drones fly over America by September 2015. This is the old thing, but it's speaking a lot of truth. People can be found using their implants. No time when the TI has any privacy in violation of their constitutional rights. Targeted individuals are denied all their rights as human beings. Poisoning. People are being sprayed with pesticides and chemicals while they are sleeping in their beds, instead of rounding them up in cattle cars and gassing them with Zyklon B and burning their bodies in ovens like Hitler did. The elderly and unwanted are being killed to make their death look like it occurred by natural causes, so it is deniable. TIs have things put in their food, have placed in their homes, such as machines that emit microwaves called magatrons. magnetrons, microwave transmitters, and radioactive substances in their home so they get cancer. Microwave frequency can produce the effect of drugs in people by beaming the frequency of the drug into a person so that the person feels like they took that drug. Radiation. Microwaves can alter cerebral glucose metabolism as shown. They can also cause cataracts and blindness. They can alter the density of bones and cause many other illnesses. The goal of the program is to radiate the TI 24 hours a day. They have installations deliver radiation to them in their vehicles, homes, by mobile phones while in public. Microwave frequencies radiate implants or particular nerves and muscles to cause pain by making the cells leak potassium, magnesium, and salt, leaving the muscles full of toxins. Microwaves also dry up synovial fluids and joints, making them crack and pop. Microwaves target physical systems such as the adrenal gland, the lymph system, or the brain, which over time causes dysfunction and death. Some weapons use acoustic or ultrasound frequencies, which when produce a phantom touch which crushes the flesh and causes deep debilitating pain. Acoustic weapons can cause sonic cavitations, which are bubbles in the blood or organs which explode, leaving big vacuous holes of pus. This happened to one TI in North Carolina. The direct energy first struck her in the abdomen, paralyzed her, and the energy traveled up through her left lung, causing it to collapse. She was actually lifted up and thrown onto the floor. Her lung had to be opened from front to back to remove the pus and the cavitations. Surgeons had never seen this type of injury. Stalkers can GPS TIs wherever they go in public, restaurants, on the beach, or in a hospital, while a patient in ER or in the room. Once the direct energy weapon locks onto the target, the radiation is merciless and causes severe pain and agony to muscles and nerves. Police have the actual pain machines to radiate people in their squad cars and their installations in hospitals to accomplish this pain scenario too. I've been getting hit bad with direct energy weapons in here. Many TIs are elderly and they're burned and mutilated with lasers. Some sores, like the third, you can't see it. Stalkers are receive a stalker alert, something like the Amber Alert on their mobile phones. Whoever's in the area stalks a TI. They are told where to walk or sit down in order to radiate the TI. Phones can be used to kill people with military apps which stop the heart and breathing and cause bleeding in the brain. Phones have apps which can lock onto the TI and guide microwaves from cell towers and satellites to position on Earth. That is why they call direct energy. It can be directed to a pinpoint to the end of your pinky fingers. They deliver shocks and vibrations to the nervous system using energy in the light spectrum, such as radio, microwave, millimeter waves, white light, infrared, ultraviolet, and acoustic waves such as infrared and ultrasound. A scientist, Verdinsky, said, "He who controls the entire electromagnetic spectrum will dominate the world. The electromagnetic spectrum is being used to torture and kill targets." Implants. This electron microscope picture, so you can't see it. It was removed from a TI in California who has 2 young sons who also had multiple implants. Their implants are activated with frequencies which trigger nerve and stimulate muscles which move arms and legs without the children's conscious involvement, keeping them awake at night. Implants can cause pain and damage to nerves, muscles, bones, as well as cancer. This is being done to babies and small children and may be done to every child at birth at some point in the future. One TI had this tiny robot come out of his wrist. TIs conversely receive multiple implants over time. Some are to track the person or monitor their biological functions. Some are to deliver pain. All are in violation of the human rights. This is for entertainment purposes only. Medical care. TIs cannot get honest health care because an agency, and I'm going to skip talking about the health stuff. Biological weapons. TIs are given Lyme disease, Morgan's, or other designer disease. Stalkers enter their homes and place infected materials, genetically modified insects, substrates loaded with worms and pathogens in beds and clothing, on bathroom toilets and counters. These will come in contact with the TI's victim's skin and develop into a painful, debilitating, socially disgusting disease. When a TI tries to get help from a professional, they are accused of excoriating their own skin because they have a mental condition. So in other words, if somebody gets hit with direct energy, sometimes they say, well, you just picking at your skin. That's how it got there. Harassment. All stalking, radiation, and biological weapons are considered harassment. Acoustic weapons use transponders to emit two ultrasonic waves which cross each other. They can be used to make sounds in midair, move things like doors, knock a person out of bed, walk across the bed, touch a person like a caress, create pressure on a body part so they feel pain and numbness, and rape a person with various size radiuses. Acoustic weapons are delivered by an integrated scalar microwave carried delivery system. Sound produces pressure which can be felt, even lift someone out of the air or throw them out of bed. Women TIs are being harassed to have sex. One woman is raped at night while her husband's right next to her. This can be done with frequencies that put a person to sleep so they remember nothing. Another woman is drugged and someone enters her home and is raped by multiple men. One young woman is being harassed with microwaves to have sex with men like a prostitute. She's microwaved till she complies. Direct energy weapons have altered the length of the long bones in her arms and legs. Direct energy weapons were used in Iraq to kill people when the corpses were presented at the hospital. They were reduced to 1 meter in height. So direct energy weapons might be able to shrink bones. Remote neural monitoring. Most all targets report a ringing in their left ear or both ears. This is a sign that their brains are connected to a mobile Wi-Fi remote neural monitoring system. The system relies on nearby receivers and transmitters, either in a vehicle, a neighboring home, cell towers, satellites to relay their EKG, MEG, or evoked potentials to a military field. A person monitoring a person's brain from a distance with remote neural monitoring can tell when the person is awake or asleep, what state of wakefulness or sleep they're in. During the time the victim is trying to go to sleep, they're shocked repeatedly, has sounds put in their head, or make vocal noises in their throat like growling. They are heated up and assaulted with acoustic pressure weapon that causes numbness and pain in their joints, and with an energy that pulses and moves over and back and forth across their body. In other words, they are deprived of sleep. One TI has voices talking to him all the time and has evidence of an implant under his scalp. There are many other torturous stories. Dreams can be inserted into someone's unconscious mind. Their emotions can be read and charged with frequencies and changed with frequencies. Someone else's experience can be inserted into a person's memory. The victim retains control, but there are bodily functions which can be triggered from a distance with frequencies that match the victim's bioresonant frequencies. For instance, there are frequencies that can trigger anger, depression, or irritation. There are frequencies that can make the victim lose control of their elimination functions. Some frequencies take over arms and legs, which move uncontrollably. This may be a screen from software used by torturers showing what can be done with particular frequencies. And I'm done with this video. I'm sorry it's so long, and I hope y'all found that interesting. I did. So until the next time, I'm out. Please pray for me. I'm going to put my GoFundMe in the link. Look, I'm not lying about the catheter, and I might be leaving with a catheter, so I don't want to get out of here with no income and with a catheter and all that and be in a jam. So anyway, I love y'all. I pray for y'all. If y'all have any recommendations of something I should do a video, feel free to put it in the comments below. Thanks.